Hi everyone, it's May and we're coming into the biggest 6 weeks of home sales in the Twin Cities. Ours is a seasonal market, right? And so May and June are the peak of the season. If you're considering buying or selling a home in the next few weeks and you want to know whether this is a good time, well, this video is for you. We're going to look at home prices, we're going to look at how many homes are on the market, we're going to look at how long those homes are staying on the market, and who's up, sellers or home buyers. So if you don't know me yet, my name is Jay Troutlowen. I'm a Minneapolis realtor, and every month I do a deep dive into the 7-county Twin Cities metro area real estate market to see what's up, what's down, and how I can help my home buyers and home sellers navigate the Twin Cities housing market. So if you've got questions about how this market might affect your plans to buy or sell a home, please go ahead and put them in the chat below. Or you can shoot me a text or send me an email. I'm always happy to answer your questions. And if you like what you see here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and help me feed the algorithm. You know, we live and die by algorithms here on YouTube. All right, let's talk about the housing market. I always like to start off talking about new listings because that is the frontline indicator of market activity when you're in a seller's market, which is what we've had for several years now. New listings here in the metro were up 5.8% in April. Compared with April of last year, we saw about 312 additional properties listed for sale last month. I mean, that's good news. But although even with that growth, new listings are still down from pre-pandemic levels, and they're below what we saw in April 2021 or 2022, before those interest rates really started to climb. Those higher interest rates, along with the political turmoil and the market uncertainty, seem to still be keeping a number of potential home sellers out of the market. And I mean, really, you can't really blame them. There's a lot of factors here. And that growth was pretty uneven across price ranges. The biggest growth in new listings, both by percentage and numerically, came in the $500,000 to $800,000 price bracket, which was up by about 13%. And almost all of that growth was in existing homes coming to market, not new construction. New listings in the $300,000 to $500,000 price bracket saw just a slight increase, about 1.5%. And that's really where the bulk of the home sales happen. New listings under $300,000 were up 6% year over year, but much of that was due to an increase in condo listings, which jumped by 15%. If you just looked at single-family home sales, they were up less than 1% in that under $300,000 category. So it's really tough out there for first-time home buyers right now, or let's just say it continues to be really tough out there for first-time home buyers right now. I can tell you that from my own buyers this week. We found a nice house for them last weekend, put in an offer. Turns out the offer was one of 12. And even though we offered substantially over the asking price on a $200,000 fixer-upper, they didn't get the house. And that's not the first time that's happened to them. Between interest rates and low inventory and fierce competition, the first-time home buyers are just having a rough time. Things aren't exactly rosy at the top end of the market either. New listings in the $800,000 and up luxury market went up by about 3.5%, but all of that increase was due to new construction. Existing homes in that luxury market price bracket were actually down 3.2% compared to last year. So if you're thinking of selling, you should be paying attention to this. While there are some areas of the country that have started to see the market shifting more toward buyers, here we still have a really strong seller's market. All right, let's look at the total number of homes for sale. So new listings are kind of the front end of the market. It really shows you what's happening with seller activity, and total number of homes for sale also pretty much is a better indicator of kind of what's happening on the buying end of the market. When we look at the total number of homes for sale in April, we can see a bit more of what's happening with buyers. The total number of homes for sale did grow in April, about 4.8% compared to last year. There were 7,005 homes on the market in the 7-county metro, and that is really starting to look a lot more like the pre-pandemic housing market. But much like the new home listings, that market is very different depending on what price bracket you're looking at and what kind of property. Whether it's a condo, a single family home, a townhome, or new construction. For example, we saw the total number of homes for sale in the 300,000 and under price bracket jump by a whopping 21% this past month compared to last year, but that is largely due to sluggish condo sales. If we're looking just at single family homes in the $300,000 and under, the number of homes on the market actually declined by 3.2% compared to last year. So overall up by 21%, but if you're looking just at single family homes, down by 3.2%. And in the $300,000 to $500,000 price bracket, the total number of homes on the market was actually down 5.2% compared to last April. And it was down more than 7% the month before. So this is just kind of a great reminder to note that there isn't just one housing market. What you can expect if you're buying or selling a home is going to depend on the type of home, price, and of course, the location. So if you have questions about what's happening in your area or your market, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. I am a stats nerd. I do love to dig this stuff up. All right, so let's talk a little bit about home prices. I have to say, there's not that much to talk about with home prices right now. Home prices are up a little bit year over year, about 2.7%, but they haven't been increasing month to month. The median sales price in the Twin Cities was $385,000 in April, and that's pretty much unchanged since February. And the average home price was also up about 4.2%. To $466,000, which again isn't much change month to month and not a ton of change year over year. So what does all this mean if you're going to buy or sell a home this year? Well, if you're thinking about selling your home, you should know that there is still strong buyer demand. But from what we're hearing around the country, there are other markets where we see the market softening, it's taking longer for homes to sell. We're seeing more price reductions. And a lot of that has to do with, I think, some changes in the economy, the tariffs, the economic uncertainty, and we could start seeing that here. If you're hoping to buy a home in the next 6 weeks or this summer, really the next 6 weeks, this is when you're going to find the largest amount of inventory of homes for sale in 2025. But you're also going to find the most competition. You're going to be up against multiple offers, and you might have to pay a little bit of a higher price, but you will have more choice. All right, that's what I have for you this month. I really appreciate you watching. If you have questions, again, you can put them in a chat, you can call, you can text, and hit that subscribe button because, I want to see you next month. All right, take care, and thanks for watching.